of Steel #4. I was a little bit late getting to it this week, but that's just how some weeks go, right? It's summer, it's a beautiful day outside, so it's just one of those things where I spend a lot of time outside, not a lot of time for the videos. But in any event, guys, Man of Steel #4, in my view, not a lot happened. Brian Michael Bendis, I think he's continued the story, but all he's really done is that he extended the fight scene between Rogol Zaar and Superman in this, and not a lot more was revealed actually, and so I was somewhat disappointed in it. Now there was a artist by the name of Kevin Maguire. He did the art. I thought the art was okay, but I thought it was just okay. As a matter of fact, I actually thought Kevin Maguire, I thought the art and the facial expressions, I thought he missed the mark. I didn't quite buy it. Didn't quite make. I just thought it wasn't quite right to me, but it was okay. Again, I thought it was adequate. It was an average issue, but you could skip over this. I was very disappointed in this. Brian Michael Bendis, the dialogue in this issue was a significant miss to me. There was way too much dialogue. One particular scene was near the end. The whole issue was just Superman fighting Rogol Zaar. That was it. And it was very much, the dialogue was pointless. We learned really nothing about anything. And in particular, the final page, Superman basically uses his solar flare to explode. And it's not even clear that people who don't read a lot of Superman are not going to know what happened. And there is this scene that is ruined. You want to know, this is a prime example of how a comic book scene can be ruined by the writer's insistence of having dialogue. There's a final scene here where Superman shows up at the Fortress of Solitude. He doesn't know, Rogol Zaar ends up behind him. Superman knows he's there, and then for some nonsensical reason, Superman embarks on this long, ridiculous dialogue. Superman doesn't sound like this. Why Rogol Zaar seems to be taunting him behind him, asking him if he has does he have any children? Have you procreated with these soft Earth creatures? And yet Rogol Zaar doesn't immediately attack Superman. That doesn't make any sense. Superman doesn't even look at him. That doesn't make any sense. And then Superman's words here are just, it reads terribly. It's not smooth reading at all. I just can't imagine two people talking like this when Superman's fighting for life and death with this guy. Think of how much better this scene would have been. There was no need to have any words or dialogue. Rogol Zaar basically wiped out the bottle city of Kandor. He wiped out the bottle city of Kandor, exterminated all the Kandor's inhabitants. You don't need any dialogue here. This is about a brutal enemy, a brutal person confronting Superman. You don't need to have any dialogue. This is just good versus evil, plain and simple. Kevin Maguire would have been better off. No dialogue. That way the dialogue wouldn't clutter up the page. Imagine how much better it would have been if it would have just shown Superman on a full page spread. One page, one great picture of Superman there, back to Rogol Zaar. Rogol Zaar sneaking up to him, and Superman beginning to glow. And then a description in the boxes as to what a solar flare is. Because most readers of Superman will not know that he's got a solar flare power. In fact, I didn't even know what had happened at first. I thought there was explosives. It just shows Superman flaring up, and then it shows an explosion. I thought initially that there was explosions, that maybe there was an explosion in the fortress. I didn't realize that maybe that was a solar flare. That actually had to be pointed out to me, that maybe it's a solar flare. So it's unclear. The writing's unclear. The dialogue was, I think the story's ruined by the dialogue, unfortunately. So this doesn't bode well. This is, you had 6 issues to make a mark, and 4 issues in here. This was a significant miss. Also, another criticism. I love Superman and Lois, and they're on the cover here, and they're really not in the comic book. Why aren't they in the comic book? I thought it would show something about the relationship between Superman and Lois. I thought that would be maybe we would get snapshots of the various aspects of Superman's life, but we're not. What Man of Steel really is really apparently just introducing us to yet another genocidal villain who has a Kryptonian fetish. We already have that in Brainiac. What makes Rogol Zaar different? I'm still not quite sure what that difference might be yet. But I mean, the jury's still out. Overall, it's an interesting read, but it's not a necessary one. You could skip this issue, guys. It's a significant miss for Brian Michael Bendis. Out of 10, I would give this I'll give this a 6 out of 10, possibly even a 5.5, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10 to be generous. And hopefully things will pick up next issue. We got 2 issues left. I really hope that we begin to have a movement of the story here, and the dialogue is just this is a miss on the dialogue by Bendis. I really hope that improves by having less of it. Or if you're going to have dialogue, at least have a point to it, other than this meaningless sort of, it's been called, what do they call it, Gilmore Girls kind of conversational dialogue. Bendis, maybe that works for some of your Marvel stuff, but don't waste it when you got 6 issues on Superman, please. Anyways, guys, that's it, my review for Man of Steel number 4. Until next time, Comic Boom, out.